The Honourable Member for Courtenay-Alberni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honor to rise today to talk about the importance of affordable childcare, not just in my riding, but across Canada. Mr. Speaker, this is related to a question that I raised in the House of Commons around the need for a national, universal, affordable, accessible, a childcare program that also is a quality program to be developed here in Canada. Mr. Speaker, we've been hearing for 50 years from the government that their plans are to develop a program for early childhood education that's universal right across the country. We have not seen the government do that. We keep hearing more and more lofty commitments. Their secretariat that they've announced of spending $20 million over 5 years just doesn't cut it, Mr. Speaker. We know that provinces like British Columbia are looking for federal commitments on this front so that we can deliver a child care program, not just in BC, but right across Canada. What I'm hearing from small businesses, Mr. Speaker, is that their needs aren't looking for removal of red tape and lower taxes. They're saying that their priorities and their needs are affordable childcare, Mr. Speaker, affordable housing. They want to see a pharmacare and dental care program to, help support their workers and themselves, Mr. Speaker, because the costs are going through the roof for private insurance. And we know that it saves money when we invest in people. And of course, their priorities are a healthy environment because they're on the ground and they're, obviously they care deeply about their communities. We saw what it was like under a decade under the Conservatives, Mr. Speaker, where they didn't prioritize social infrastructure. They didn't understand the importance of that for the local economy. And we've heard a lot of lip service from the Liberals when it comes to affordable housing. We've saw non-market housing fall in the last 27 years under the Liberals and Conservatives from 10% to 3%, Mr. Speaker, whereas in Europe, they're upwards of 30% in most jurisdictions. So when it comes to investing in strong supports, we've also seen in those areas strong economies as a reflection of that. And Mr. Speaker, we know that the government is looking at considering maybe a tax cut instead of investing in opening up childcare spaces. And we're hearing from stakeholders across the country, including Armin Yalnizan, an economist who is the current Atkinson Fellow on the Future of Workers. And she cites in a Global News report from February 13, she states, I think it's the path of least resistance. And this is regarding a federal tax credit, which we know the Liberals are considering, because it means that they don't have to get involved in the quality or the standards of care, but it does not create one more new space that is high quality. Mr. Speaker, we need the government to actually commit to quality, affordable, and accessible childcare, Mr. Speaker. And the Comox Valley Chamber of Commerce in my riding has identified it as their number one priority. We saw in Quebec where they brought in a childcare program that was universal. 70,000 women went back to work. The GDP went up 2%, Mr. Speaker. And if we're truly going to have a chic recovery, we know that the majority of job losses have affected women, that it's been women that have been disproportionately affected, that we need to create more spaces for affordable childcare. And the NDP has been calling for that in our budget submission. We cited the importance this will be to any economic recovery regarding the pandemic and post-pandemic, and that this is going to be critical to women, especially participating in the workforce. And we've seen other countries do it, and it's worked, whether it be in Sweden or in Norway or Slovenia, other countries that have seen how important it is to the economic makeup of their not just their economy, but they're part of their recovery. They have that stability and that infrastructure in place. And I'm calling on the government, the NDP is calling on the government, and as a critic for small business and tourism, I want to express how critical this is for our commitment to small businesses in Canada.
Honourable Parliament